everybody, I'm Vaughn and I'm from the USA.
Hello guys, my name is Andy and I'm from Brazil.
Hello everybody, my name's Ken, I'm from Australia.
And hello everybody, my name is Oskar and I am Swedish.
Hello everyone, I'm Huyen, I'm from Vietnam.
Woo!
I think in the States, like elbows on the table can be seen as rude or like disrespectful. Like I think especially if I'm eating with older people, like I won't do it. Like if I'm with my grandma or something like that, like I'm gonna get yelled at.
Actually, we don't really have this kind of thing. Like we can put the elbows, like nobody really care about it. But you know, like when you're in like a fancy place, you gotta like put like the and all the etiquette to follow. But in normal daily life, people just put in the ball like, oh, what you're saying? You're like, ha ha ha.
No elbows on the table. For me, especially at my mother's house, I've done that many times and I quit.
Yeah.
For me in Sweden, I guess like it depends, right? If you go to the local pizzeria with your friends, elbows on the table is very okay. And at a fine restaurant or like with company, you need to have a certain politeness level too. Not okay in Sweden.
In my country, is on the table is no problem and feel free to rest your table very able on the table is not considered to rules.
You have to wait until everybody's finished and then you can leave the table. So sometimes like I finish really quick and I want to go, but my mum is taking a long time and I'm like, hurry up.
Oh, that's so sweet. You wait. I'll just
no
go.
choice.
In Brazil, you cannot like eat with your mouth like nyam 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 nyam. You know, like you gotta keep it, like no sound at all. Just like
We have the exact same thing. We can only start eating when everyone received the food, and we can only leave the table when everyone has finished their food. So that's a very important rule in Sweden. Other than that, people like to keep your hands on the table at all times. Don't have them down on your sides, and yeah, that's it. I think.
I think also in States too, like kind of going off what you said, like slurping can be considered rude, whereas in some cultures, like if you slurp your food, that's like the
it's
louder it is,
delicious.
yeah, the more delicious it is. But like, oh my god, like you cannot do that back home. Yeah, in the U.S., tipping culture is huge. I used to work as a server in the U.S., so we get paid nothing, $2.13 an hour. So like you live off of your tips. So that's why you give great customer service, and you know, because you want to get tipped well so you can survive. I do enjoy being in other countries where there is no tip culture because you can just pay whatever it is and then that's it. But the wages in those other countries are usually higher, so it's okay, it's better.
we don't really have the tipping country in Brazil, but like sometimes you can see like in the end of the receipt, like oh, there's a little fine like for the waiter or for the workers that work for you, but it's like not that much as United States. I was like, oh my god, like $10 carry my luggage, like no, thank you, I will do myself.
In Australia, no tipping culture at all. Although, like sometimes, and you pay the bill, take the money away, and it comes back, or they take a long time to come back, and it's like maybe you should just go home and we can have a tip here.
Well, in Sweden, I'd say the tipping culture is very huge. If you don't tip at least 10%, it's considered very rude. And if you tip 10%, at some restaurants, the more fancy ones, that's kind of like only minimum tip, like it's kind of cheap. So yeah, Swedish tipping culture is very expensive.
What about for you guys? Is it like 18% is kind of the normal?
18 would be considered high. Like if you tip 18%, it's like, wow, good customer, come back, right? Like I'd say 10% is pretty normal.
But in my country, in Vietnam, we don't have a tip culture. In some Chinese or Korean or American restaurant, you can see that.
Wait, I have a question for you too. Since you have tipping culture like me, was it really hard going to other countries and not tipping?
Yes.
I feel like I always want to give them money, and they're like, what are you doing?
And also the fact that in some countries it's considered very rude to just give some more. Like, oh, this food was so good. Here's some extra. And it's like,
is so great. Like,
no, don't do that. Yeah.
get me in trouble. Don't do that. So in US, like the three major holidays, of course you're gonna have Independence Day, which is the 4th of July, is when we became independent. It's huge, like everybody celebrates. Halloween is really big there, which I know in some cultures right? It's like not as big. It's one of my favorite holidays. And Thanksgiving, which is really time together. It's also the biggest holiday in my family. But yeah, when I moved abroad, I actually came around Thanksgiving, and I was kind of forgot that like other countries don't celebrate that.
The three main in Brazil is of course Carnival. The second one is Christmas, and the last one is New Year. But like for me, of course, best Carnival. Like a whole 2 weeks of just party, and you go and like dance with your friends, and you kiss everybody in the street, and just drink a lot for 2 weeks without no work. We say that the country only starts after Carnival.
In Australia, I suppose, besides the Christmas and the New Year, there's something called Australia Day, and there's also something called Anzac Day to remember the kind of soldiers and that. But I'm from Melbourne, and there's something called Melbourne Cup Day, and there's a horse race on. It's in November, and so you get Monday and Tuesday off. It's like a long weekend, and the whole country celebrates that for a horse race.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Do you guys actually watch the horse race, or is it just like people just drinking and stuff?
As a kid, yeah, we used to watch this horse race. Now I don't watch it.
It's like a long weekend, like
Yeah, 4 days, I'll take it. I love horses.
And Sweden, yeah, we have, we celebrate Easter. We hide the eggs, like a bunny comes and hide the eggs. You do that too, yeah. We celebrate that spring is coming, Valborg we call it. So we burn a lot of trees and branches and stuff and make big fires. Usually very big, like drinking day. But I'd say maybe the biggest and most popular holiday would be Swedish Midsummer. Like we celebrate the middle of the summer, making sure that next year's harvest is going to be good. And it's a lot of drinking, it's a lot of flowers, it's a lot of eating good food and getting together with both family and friends. It's like a really mixture of family and friends coming together. So that's very good.
But the sad parts of the movie, right?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
There is now a movie called Midsommar. It's not like that. Like the movie.
We're not going to Sweden.
It's kind of scary. We're actually very nice in Sweden. Yeah. Those people in the movie, they were crazy.
In Vietnam, we have a lot of holiday, but most important is called Tết, Lunar New Year. Before Tết, we prepare a lot of things like money, food, clothes, and candy. Yeah, because in Lunar New Year, we will visit a relative house and a friend's house. So we have to prepare candy to taste us.
Like you make the candy or you just buy?
In my house, we make the traditional candy for friends. Yeah, the thing I really like is money.
You can buy more clothes.
Yeah. Grandmother, grandfather, and give me some. Thank you so much.
So I've never seen a bidet like this before in the States. Of course, if you have a bidet, it's just one that's built into the toilet. But I haven't seen one where it's like the external use one. Of course, being abroad, I think the weirdest toilet that I've seen is like you go in the stall and it's just like a hole in the floor. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go use something else.
I did once, it's horrible. Like, oh my god. Actually, in old house in Brazil, there is like the toilet and there is the bidet outside. Like I used to have when I was a kid until I was like 14 years old, the bidet beside us. We didn't really wash ourselves, we would wash our feet there.
I guess us, yeah, we just have the regular toilet. I've not seen any bidets or any extra things, and I've been looking, for things like that. The one, I guess, thing about Australia, especially country Australia, is they had like the toilet out the back. As a kid, I'd go to my auntie's house and my grandmother's house, and they had a little bit of a farm, and you'd walk out the back, and there'd be the outback thing. And I remember one time I went out, and there was like all this things, reading material in there. And then I'm in there and this cow came up and there was a hole in the side of it and I just see this eye, just like I'm there and I'm like, so like I've got to get back out and I don't want to walk past the cow, so I still remember.
So you read a lot of stuff on that.
I read everything.
We have the very traditional toilets, nothing extraordinary, no high-tech stuff. Also in Sweden, we like very traditional summer houses in Sweden. You go to your summer house and every time it's like the outdoor toilet, right? With the exact same. And we have the books. Like in Sweden, it's a big thing. Like every toilet needs to have a book full of jokes. So you sit and read like funny, like short jokes. That's a thing in Sweden. Very important. Every toilet needs a funny book.
Yeah, in my country, this is called boy seat. It's maybe a joke, but in my country, we have the two teams. The first team is use paper. The first team will use this. Yeah.
And how do you know which team are you?
Right?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
When you meet someone new, you like, are you team bidet or toilet paper? Is that a...
Actually, I do both of them, both of them, because when I feel boring, I do bidet to my hands, rinse the hands.
I think the most interesting one is probably the bidet thing, because I thought every country had bidets.
For me, the most interesting one, the Vietnam bidet. Like you can choose between which team are you. I would be the team paper. Thank you.
I'll go with the bidet. Well,
I'll change, and I'll go with I thought the holidays were super fun to hear your topics on that and your thoughts about that. It's fun how we're so like different cultures, right?
Yeah, same here.
So today we talked about culture differences among 4 different countries.
If you like the video, please like and subscribe or leave a comment. We will see you soon.
Bye bye.